new guidelines on car seats, booster seats, and seat belts. That'll become law in Minnesota tomorrow.
Now, among the law changes, children under 2 years old should be in rear-facing infant seats until they reach the seat's height or weight limit. Children should be at least 9 to ride in vehicles without a booster, and all kids under 13 do need to be in the back seat. It's a lot to unpack, we're sure. Dr. Gigi Chawla, the Chief of General Pediatrics from Children's Minnesota, here to talk about these rule changes, because these rule changes, they start tomorrow.
They start tomorrow, so we want all parents to be aware and to get prepared. And actually, this is a law that's in the making. It's been so good because it's going to save lives.
So I just want to be clear here, because the way I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that these used to be guidelines and now they are law.
They are law, yes.
Okay.
So we want everyone to be aware so that they can adhere to it and really understand what the ages are, so that you know when your kid should be moving to the next level.
Okay, is that one? That one's in a booster. That's your 6. Why don't we start with? Let's start with the babies.
Let's see if we can get this one balanced.
Yeah.
First.
Okay, we're good.
Let's do babies first.
Babies?
Yeah. So this is a very typical infant car seat. And kids should now, what's important about these infant car seats, of course, is that they have a 5-point harness that fits right over the breastplate of a child, sits securely, and that these infant car seats, if possible, are in the center of the back seat and facing the rear. Okay. And kids should be in this seat until they're 2 years old.
Center facing the rear.
Until facing the rear until 2.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. That's
yeah, that is different because
change.
Most families had thought about changing and turning that over.
We just lost our
infant, our 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Typical 6-year-old.
That's right.
Right?
Most parents used to change that car seat over and make it forward-facing at age 1.
Yeah.
And now the recommendations, the law, is that they stay rear-facing until age 2.
Okay, let's talk about, who do we have here?
3 years old?
This is a
3-year-old.
3-year-old.
Okay.
Yep. And from age 2, when kids outgrow their infant, up until age 4, a transitional seat like this, a toddler seat that has got the internal harness, is what you need. So it still has the breastplate up until age 4, and you really, if you can keep them in there longer, terrific, but that's really what you're looking for, is the breastplate internal plate until age 4.
So this is age 4, but what if you have like a smaller 4-year-old or a bigger 4-year-old?
Yeah, so if you've got a small 4-year-old, it is safer to be in an internal harness as long as possible. So if you can have your child up there until age 5, terrific. Okay. If you really cannot, if you have a taller 4-year-old, these straps do move.
You can adjust them.
So you can adjust them, but regardless, if you do have a taller 4-year-old, then you could move to this booster seat that my 6-year-old keeps falling out of. A booster seat has just a base with what you're expected to do, and what a child is expected to do is use that seat belt and have that seat belt sit securely over their the middle part of their chest and not get up and move.
Okay. Right.
And so that's why the internal piece is just so critical for as long as you can keep it.
And be tall enough so that the seatbelt doesn't hit their neck, but hits right here.
Exactly. So a lot of the cars that have an adjustable placement here where the seatbelt harness will come across is really what would be very helpful.
Can we talk about really quick just how important it is to make sure these car seats are actually installed safely and properly too, because that's a big part of the problem.
That is a big part of the problem, and especially I was noting right away that the infant carrier that we have here, you can already tell it's not positioned well, right? Because I can see from here that it is not level to what it needs to be.
There is a level on here. It needs to be up there.
Yep, and then the base needs to sit very securely.
And make sure it's tighten in there.
It has to be really, really tight so that it doesn't move.
Yeah.
And up 13 now, 13 years old.
So
before
now
you can sit in front.
From this booster seat can be from age 4 to 9. Whenever your 4-year-old has outgrown the internal harness, they're sitting in this seat from age 4 to 9. After that, from 9 to 12, they're in the back seat without the booster seat. Now, at age 13, they can move to the front seat of the car.
Now we have an excuse. Sorry, kids, can't run in the front seat. Dr. Gigi, as always, we appreciate it.
Yep.